Final verdict. Liza P. DLC Overture. Is it good? How good? Is it bad? How bad? Is it worth it? What do you guys think? Get the final verdicts in the chat. 1 out of 10. 10, 1 to 10. What do you think? I think it was pretty good. I think it was a great DLC. Now, I had not played Liza P. since it first came out, and I did a playthrough like right when it came out. So when the DLC shadow dropped, which by the way, bonus points, shout out to Neowiz. Big ball move doing that shadow drop, right? Summer Game Fest just announcement available now. I thought that was epic. And you know what? It was perfect because I felt like I was waiting so long. I think I gave Liza P the base game when it came out. We got to go back and look. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. But I really liked it. And I've been waiting all this time for the DLC. Really. And so it started to feel like it was taking forever. Because they kept teasing little videos, you know, and it was very exciting. But it just got to this point where I'm like, where is it? And then they just not only announce it, but they just drop it randomly. Shadow drop. Love it. So then I had to play through like most of the base game again, all the way to chapter 9 to start the DLC, because unfortunately that last time when we beat it, I started New Game Plus after. So then I would have had to either play all the way through again either way. So I just did a new game and played all the way through to chapter 9, and then we switched to the DLC. Nico says 10. Batmo says 7. Dorito says 2.99. Okay. What up, Freshie? So anyway, what up, Just a Gamer? But that let me, you know, shake the cobwebs off and kind of adjust back to playing Liza P again. Because it is like its whole kind of unique playstyle, I feel like, even within the Souls-like genre here, right? But once we finally got to the DLC, I was like, okay, here we go. It was great. I love the DLC. But I will say just a couple things. I loved the zoo environment the most. I think that was the peak of the DLC. And unfortunately, that is like the first half of the DLC. Now, granted, it fits into the story kind of all the way through, you know, with the animals and all that. But the environments that you're going through, I feel like are really, really, really strong in the whole first half. Okay? Whole first half. Like when you show up at the zoo and you're in the snow, there's like such a high level of detail and all the environments are incredible. I seriously loved going through the zoo exhibits and the different animals. All of that was like a 10 for me. Straight up. I loved it, okay? But I will say that as you get later on into like the latter half, you're spending a lot of time underground. And you're in these caves and these mines and like, I get it, man. I get that like sometimes those environments are easy to do when you're trying to get this done, you know, it's just a cave. How hard can it be to make? But it's just infinitely less interesting than the beginning half, like at the zoo. The zoo was so good, okay? And so far, I'm just talking about environments. We'll get to the bosses and all the other stuff too, but like, so that was my favorite. I loved all that. Didn't love going through the caves as much. You spend a lot of time underground in the second half. A lot of time in the mines and kind of these underground tunnels and caves. You do eventually come out to like the icy water lake area, which I did think was a cool switch up. Even if it was like pretty on the nose inspired by like the fishing hamlet wharf area in Bloodborne DLC, the Old Hunters. You know? It was like, dude, in fact, I'm not even saying a ripoff, by the way. This is a great DLC. It's great. Okay? And just like Liza P, it wears its inspiration on its sleeve while still doing most of its own stuff and kind of elaborating on stuff, right? But like Liza P in general was already pretty heavily inspired by not just like the Souls genre, but like Bloodborne specifically and a few of these elements from the other games. You could just tell, right? And if it wasn't already obvious, this DLC makes it just like it bonks it on your head, bro. You pretty much got Lady Maria, come on. The way that she looks, her whole vibe is very Lady Maria. She's even in the DLC here. Now, she's not a boss, though, so I guess they did switch that up, you know. she's kind of on your team this time. But just her whole style gave me Lady Maria vibes. Not in a rip-off way. It's cool, you know? But then you're doing that whole fishing Hamlet area at the end of this, which is also very Old Hunters DLC, you know? So I just think they, in loving memory of Bomb Bomb, the cat, look! Oh my god! Is that the cat in the game? I'm gonna die now. Overall, great DLC. Okay, I do think the first half was stronger than the second half. I think I like that they added a lot of new weapons. The weapons were awesome. And I didn't like thoroughly try a lot of them, but we did experiment with a number of them, and we at least checked each one out. And some of these are really, really cool. How many weapons did they add? There was quite a lot. So I was happy to see all the new weapons. Super cool. Happy to see the huge patch that came out when the DLC dropped and that affected the base game too. Just fixed up a lot of things, streamlined a lot of things. Like, shout out to the thing where you can use your little ergo chunks while leveling up right there in that menu. That's great. Just little things like that were awesome. So really, this DLC did mostly just nothing but good. And I've said this while I was playing, but I feel like even if you wait to get on this and you've never played Lies of P, and down the road, if there's any way to like just get Lies of P and the DLC in like a bundle, man, what a solid bundle that is. You know what I mean? So, great DLC. Weapons are awesome. The bosses were mostly awesome. We're about to do a tier list right now, so we'll talk about those more specifically. But mostly awesome on pretty much all the bosses. Everything had more of like just like a level of like scale and cinematicness to everything, more so than the base game. More little cool things happen in the environment, like stuff falling and just little immersive things. The bosses were even more epic in a lot of ways. So the bosses themselves were great too throughout the whole DLC, and there's a lot of them. Now, I got a lot of time out of this DLC. I played it for like 6-7 days straight. How much was just the DLC? I'd have to go look. But I've got like over 100 hours in Lies of P now, I think. And that's just one playthrough of the base game, and then one playthrough of the base game to get to the DLC, and then the DLC. It's like, there's like got to be 20, 30, maybe 30 hours out of this DLC I just got. Something around there. But so either way, I think it's totally worth the money. Especially even in the near future, if anything goes on sale, if they get bundled together or whatever, though. Love Lies of P. I do think it really is one of, if not it's a contender for like the most solid Souls-like, you know, of the off-brand Souls, you know, like Souls-like games. It's got to be one of, if not the best. And this DLC just doubles down on that. Yeah. So I loved it. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. I'm going to say 9 out of 10 for the DLC. And I also gave base game 9 out of 10. And to be honest, I could even see if you're really, really, really into Souls-like games in the future, and this is bundled together and you haven't played it, it's like, that could be a 10. It's that good. Once again, the music is great. The little quests with the NPCs, I think, were even cooler in the DLC than the base game. All of them were cooler and more interesting to me. A lot of cool, more environmental set pieces, especially in the first half. But the only reason I'm going 9 is the second half. I don't like the areas in the second half as much. Like, there was a point where when I was going down through the caves and the mines, I was like, okay, if we came out of the mines or the caves now, it would be okay. But then we like went back in again and it just kept going, you know. It wasn't like terrible, but I think that's where it gets a 9. If the entire DLC and the environments were on the level of the zoo, it'd be 10 for sure. 10. Absolutely. I just wanted more zoo. I'm not even kidding. I just wanted it to be bigger. So anyway, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. So that's it. I give Lies of P, DLC, Overture, DLC, 9 out of 10, bro. Just like I gave the base game, 9 out of 10. So it's great. And I mean, it's obvious at this point, if you like Lies of P, you're going to love the DLC, you know, so it's great.